Hello and welcome to this video. So basically, I want to do something with this YouTube channel, and what I've noticed is there's a lot of videos that are missing for saab. There is a lot of good, but like more basic stuff, So my plan is, of course my own car, but I want to do some, tutorials and some stuff that, doesn't show up easily when searching on YouTube. For example, serpentine belt change in this one. So this is a Saab 93 B205E engine, turbo, 150 horsepower. And this one, if you go on saab parts, which I will recommend for everything, the way it looks, the serpentine belt, how it's shaped, is wrong. So I have this picture I'll pop in here, where you can see what it's supposed to look like. So you have a picture of what it looks like when you gotta change it. You can see it goes up here. So this is the generator. Then up here is a tightener and just a wheel, and it goes over here to the water pump. I'm pretty sure this is the water pump, and then the hydraulic pump. And down here, that's for the air condition one. If you don't have air condition, this is not supposed to be there. Then it will just go, I'm pretty sure, like from up here, and then by the water pump down to here, but I'm not sure. But mine is with air conditioning, so that's what I'm going with. I know, of course you have the picture, but just so you know what I'm gonna be changing. So if you're curious if you have to change it, there is a couple of things you need to watch out for. First of all, it's noise, and I will show you a video of how that's supposed to sound. It's usually kind of whiny, and there's also the other thing, which is the whining is usually when the belt gets kind of hard and loses its, moistness to, soften the sounds. And also if it starts like jumping, like this, very small vibrations that makes it almost like an exhaust leaking sound, then it's usually because some of these, flywheels or other things have gotten bad, and that way it can't really move. It's kind of stiff, so it kind of like jumps, which usually also can ruin the tightener too. So yeah, what I'm gonna change is of course the belt, which I have here, and then I'm gonna change this. And how it's supposed to be laid, I'm not quite sure because it came unassembled, but I'll show you when I get it disassembled, the old one. So now if you go to the top, you'll see this is the tightener, and right here, that's where you put the bolt. So you can see down here, this is it. Right here, this is the one. And it goes to that, not the top wheel, but the wheel. Focus. So it goes to that wheel, not that one. That's just a flywheel. It just goes with it. That's the one you're also gonna change. And then this one, as you can see. So now, first of all, disassembling to get there. Now I've done quite a lot of cars now. This one is no space, like it is kind of crazy, but that's just saab, So what I did is I removed the air intake between the filter and the turbo, and then yeah, there's nothing really needed to remove here, but yeah, it's just a lot of space from here. So now you think, oh, I'll remove this. So, it's even more space. Yeah, you can do that if you hate yourself, because, yeah, it goes all the way. It sits with this, and I can't really push it out easily. It's not, I wouldn't say it's worth removing this, really. You don't really need it. I tried, and yeah, it goes all the way down here. It is supposed to disassemble here, but yeah, 20-year-old hard plastic. I'm not gonna, try that. So, just don't remove this. One thing I do recommend is removing this holder here, so you have space here. That should be fine to doing it. So in a wheel hub, this is technically not needed to get in here, but I like to have more space. But else it's just this little plastic that sits here. It's just like this. Of course it sits to to this part. There's like 1, 2, 3 screws on from the bottom, and then there's a plastic screw up here that's hidden, which I did not know was there at first, so I just yanked it. But yeah, and now you can have easy access. So now getting the old one off, which I of course still have here. I'm gonna cut it, but I'll show you how to do it if you don't, because I'm changing the tightener anyway. I'm taking the tightener anyway, so there's no reason for me to, yeah, spend a lot of time making it loose so I can get the belt off. So basically, if you want to loosen the belt and not just cut it off because you're not changing this, so you know how to do it. Well, you can still cut it, but if you need to know how to get this off again, you basically either put a 1/4 inch here, or you take a 28 on this. But the reason why you need to remove this is what I'll show you now. First of all, it's pretty tight, especially because mine is so old. If yours been changed, it might be easier, but it will fit in here, just like that. And now you see the problem. You have to put it this way, and you can't. So what you can do is instead, so you can take a 28. And you can get it to like fit. It's not easy, but like you can. Now here you can see. So you can see it moves, but it's really fucking tight. So I wouldn't recommend it. But if you want to, then you'll pull this. Yeah, don't do this. Use a 1/4 inch and remove this. Then you pull it back. Then because I have a new one, I can show you. You can put this in. You can just take a small umbraco or something small, yeah, just a little hex nut, umbraco, something like that. And you can pull this through so it holds it, so you didn't, have to do that yourself while taking it off. And that way it's also easy to put the new one on. But since I'm going to change it, I'm just going to cut it. So when you cut it off, just poof. That's the easiest way to do it. So now that you've either cut it off or freed it, you can just pull this fucker out. And that's when you realize you probably should have seen if the new rim you bought is actually the right size. An easy way, when you realize you didn't measure, is this. And you can see, that's about right. So for loosening the different stuff, here and here is basically just 10mm, 12mm, and 8mm, and maybe a 7 for the air hose. But you can probably just use a screwdriver. And this one is a Umbraco 8 or H8. I don't, I'll just show you this in the 8 size. H8. Oh, will you focus? God. H8. Yes. Now that you've gotten it out, you can't get it fully out because you hit the wall, so you can just do this. Yeah, hold tight, you don't want to lose it. And now it's out. As you can see, it actually runs. Oh, sorry, quite nice. So this one is actually okay. And of course, this is new grease, so it'll cause a lot more resistance. But this has almost no play, and this has a lot of play. So that's also a difference. I mean, you could technically maybe tighten it, but usually not. So you can probably see. And also hear it. Where's this one? Almost no play. So yeah. So there could be too much play, which makes it wobble. This one could be, broken, but these are pretty heavy duty, as you can see. It's pretty big. So that probably won't happen. But yeah. So if it's too loose, it will also run bad. You need the right amount of resistance. Not the flywheel, but the freewheel, I don't know what's it called. It's just a, oh my god. It's a guiding wheel, basically. It's just a 15. Ah, fuck, yeah. Don't loosen it. Don't lose it. Yep. And you can just remove it. So be careful when you move it so you don't lose anything. As you can see, here's the old one and new one. It's the bolt, and this one, and then that one, I think I'm pretty sure I saw. Yeah, so that one is right here. Okay, so yeah, this one first, then the wheel, and then this with the cup. So let's do a test of the difference. So here's the old one. There's actually no plane, but you can hear something is probably broken in, and it runs really good. Which, I mean, it's better than it not running. But here's the new one. But just no noise, so that's good. Now that you've gotten that out of the way, I'll probably put the belt on because there's more space. Yeah, this is not good. I'm not gonna film this because it's gonna be, yeah, ass basically. Although one thing, you should always be able to read this. This is wrong, but this is right. Now a good idea when doing this is, yeah, don't lose a lot of oil in your car and then never clean it after fixing it. But yeah, I've got it half on, and I'm gonna put the shit back on. Now I've gotten this back on, I'm gonna, you know, tighten it. Now I just probably need some kind of Newton meter, no clue. I'm just gonna tighten it because, yeah, I got a feeling for it. But there's probably some website, somebody will probably tell in the comments. But yeah, I just tighten it. When mounting this, it's supposed to, you know, sit like this. You know, you remember from the start when you try to loosen it. But I was wondering how it's just a hole, but it's got this, which is a mounting bracket kinda. You can see it down here. As you probably maybe can see, yeah, you can see there's two holes. So one's for the, you know, the bracket, and one is for the bolt. And now you gotta remember the bolt before you try to mount it. Then you'll regret not remembering that. Yeah, this is a kind of a not nice angle, but you get the idea. Gotta fiddle with it until it fits. Now that you've mounted this before mounting the tightener, it's a little easier, but remember to get it around here first, and you'll have to fiddle with it getting behind, you know, through this. It's kind of hard. So get this, basically just lay it all around here, and then you can pull it around. Now getting the serpentine belt on is pretty fucking hassle, I won't lie. Take a while, and I can't really explain what I'm doing because, well, I'm just trying stuff. But yeah, it's doable. There's no doubt in that. But it goes over here and down to the generator, and then around the water pump like this, and then down on the driving wheel. I don't know the English word. So now that you've gotten it on, you gotta make sure it's in these outer walls. You gotta be in those. First of all, it won't drive right and be too tight. It could also fall off. So make sure it's in those. It's pretty easy to see. It kind of falls into place. But yeah, watch. Just check them all so you don't do that wrong. Now all that's left is removing this tightener, so you can actually like do this, and it might work. I'm testing that now. Let's get the light on. You can see what's going on. So I'll pull this back, and then this comes loose, and then you just, when you want to get it off, but there's the problem with this. Hit the, yeah, and you can like slowly, and that's it. Then you gotta start it. So let's start it. Turning the music down so it's easier to hear. It's less noisy than before. A good idea is to, you know, test if it works by getting on some RPMs to listen for any sounds. And don't fucking do the dumb thing I did. I'm not putting this back on, there's no filter on. Nothing, usually nothing happens, but you know, it's not good for the map sensor, so don't do that. But you can really hear the turbo sounds though, so yeah. That's why you don't run this. That just blows it out. But that was all the engine. So you get one that is, what's it called? How do you call it? it does both basically, so you can like adjust. So it sends air in enough so it doesn't stall the engine, but still enough to make